it makes it so difficult for Neon to get rid of the key teamfight components.
And, you know, that's even amplifying things up further with Mac, who's just gone for the casual plate mail, totally cool with it. But the blast rig as well, what a great item to have as a Death Prophet, especially against this LC and this heavy physical damage-oriented Neon drive.
See if it comes into play here as Neon smoked up his fires. Makoto will show that exceptional ward along their higher ground, but the Ravage is on cooldown, so they might think twice about contending the fight, and they won't even have to think about that as Neon are going to try and transition themselves towards their own triangle. See, though, we've had all games today have been very, very even. It's never been one-sided. You know, there's been to 20, 25 minutes in, it's been, you know, super, super close. Just a, you know, one pivotal moment determining who is able to take that game. And you know, we're yet to find that moment here for game one against Neon and Polaris.
Polaris, they're just looking to keep the accelerator going, though, right? You've got the gem available on Boomy. He's looking to get a lot of D wards off here. To deny a lot of the map awareness that Neon might be looking to continue pushing forward. For their sake on Polaris, that they make maximum usage out of these neutral items. Given now the Psychic Headband over to the Silencer, obviously can have a lot more impact in these team fights now with the extra range, even just the 16% intelligence bonus that you get is going to buff up the use of the last word. I want to see that Titan Sliver on someone like the Tide Hunter. It's already hard to kill. Why not make it even harder?
Moment Polaris like smoked up behind this bottom push. They've got a ward inside the base, but they'll see Xiao Yu.
They pinged it. To maybe make a play towards the... Oops, now. It's just Xiao.
At least a
-2, baby. That's all it's worth.
There we go. Lane. I don't know if they kill off Mac.
I don't think they can. Not without the LC, they can't.
I believe Polaris are going to try and stall out till max level 18. It's a huge power spike with this Exism level 3, and then they might look. I mean, they did just smoke up prior. We've seen a lot of. I don't want to say. I mean, would you call that last smoke successful from Polaris? I think getting the Mirana was definitely not what you were hoping. So the team's been using these smokes not to full effect, or at least what they were hoping.
I'd call it a nil or more. You got a kill out of it. You were able to push the bottom lane in. You saw that the Legion Commander was there, so they were trying to make an attempt, and it just happened to be the Mirana that was in the region.
This could be a big factor here coming through with our next Roach fight. At the moment, at least in the inventory, it's just Hustler with a smoke. But are there any key items getting picked up? You know, Gyrocopter's been silently farming. He's still well and truly behind the life stealer, considering Unknown is on the Gyro can farm stacks at exceptional level, and the Ancients. Is there anything we have to keep our eyes out for Neon?
I mean, yeah, the Satanic is, of course, going to be a big factor against the Global Silence. Means that you don't need to pop that BKB super early on if you don't want to. But, I mean, the key thing for me is Hunker, like just having the Assault Cuirass. That's going to be a big thing to turn around this team fight, just to provide that little bit of extra layer of survivability to the team against the Exorcism.
Here we go. Got from Neon. Polaris a bit disconnected. They're going to try and join Mac at the top wave. All the lanes are in a very good spot for Polaris at the moment. How do you get the side of the fight for Neon, though? Not really the target. Gonna look to jump the back to Ravage onto multiple heroes. They'll lay down the Global Silence as well. Xiao Yu, quick fingers, BKB, but they'll just chase him inside the river. He's got the movement speed to be able to get out to safety. But once this expires in the odds, Natsumi can just turn his attention to Zhanya well. So complete with a couple more leap charges, one more in the arsenal. And that's all she wrote. So a couple of big ultimates. Roshan is up. How long have they got on Exo? About a quarter duration left.
Natsumi hits pretty damn hard though. Yeah. So like this can still do a decent amount of job with the use of the gush as well. Enough for them to be able to secure it. So another great initiation coming out there for Nico to be able to pick it up. Stays off the Silencer. Maybe not taking it quite as quickly as they need to, although Xiao Yu is farming on this bottom side, looking to take a tier 1 tower exchange. Might not even get that.
Oh, wait. Are they gonna give D? Okay, I've not seen the DP shard in play.
For the fear, yeah. I mean, who is she even going to be able to link up? Feels like they're all pretty mobile, right? Like Gyrocopter, he's obviously got a high amount of base mobility. He went into the talent for the movement speed. Legion Commander, we saw how Zhao Yu was able to get away from that gank there. I'm not crazy about it, just because the BKBs are going to be available as well.
The argument's either that or open wounds, which is a pretty good goddamn ag shot.
I'd be happy with the open wounds.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think, like, maybe it increases the survivability through duel. Like, you just more than likely pre-linking Zhao Yu. Try to burst through Mac. Instant TP's coming into play. Let's see if the blast root's going to be enough as well. Not too many. The infest bomb and the health is there. They'll still be able to bring it down thanks to Makoto's cleave. But Conker showing up his net worth. They can do something in regards to the damage. Look at the kill. It doesn't scale in regards to the Legion's damage, but it's nonetheless a position 2, and you're kind of resetting the map now that Polaris all TP'd to bot.
Conker just tonking him down. Even just simple right clicks without the Tidebringer dealing, what is that, 410 physical damage every single right click, and then with the Tidebringer amps that up to about 650.
CML, half his health completely gone. Still one Tidebringer. He's got the team smoking up behind him as well. Jewel at the ready.
He's stayed as far away from that creep wave as possible.
Yeah.
Doesn't want any kind of shadow blade into the creep wave to get another Tidebringer onto it.
Oh, hang on. Nico's got refresher.
Building it for a long time.
Okay. Has he got the mana? He's got Sora, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. The 1.25 mana regen from the Ring of Aquila. Let's not doubt that.
It's got 18 mana regen at the moment. Smoke up, Polaris. They've got the power through the fact of their team fight ultimates.
And Mac now as well. He's got the Aeon Disc, not yet completed, so he's going to be able to pop it in a situation where he absolutely needs to. Again, Neon, they're able to dodge out another smoke. It's just Zhao playing again on the front lines. He's got money for buyback. For the Mirana, we're going to be able to escape a lot of these gank attempts with the use
They're going
of
to kill
Force
him, right? Okay. Let's give away the ward positioning. And while Boomy is okay, they're going to lay down the global.
Alright. Don't know about that one from CML. You know, it's just a pango at the end of the day. What? Fellow reliable, mate.
Zhao Yu.
Tested Lightstealer as well.
Yeah, they see Zhao Yu farming very aggressively on enemy's territory. Gonna go for the BKB TP out, but the bash is there. Natsumi will finally find it.
Speaking of some odd items, we got an Aghanim Scepter being queued up for that Lightstealer. Not bad.
Oh, Ravage mid lane. What are yours? Hang on.
That was Max. Oh, yes, it was.
Oh, no.
Normally.
Don't worry. He's got a second one.
Okay, it would have been great if you picked up the Arcane Rune. Max like, okay, you know, I messed up, but you will see the Arcane come into better use on myself. Screw you, Nico.
I mean, he was X-marked at the time, so the Yule Scepter was trying to prevent any sort of drag back from that.
Legion down for another 20.
Lifestealer somehow. But yeah, they're going to be able to get this tier 2 without too much rebuttal coming through from Neon.
Dude, see him. Oh my god, another arrow.
The magnet.
This lifesteal. It actually might.
Oh, that extra movement speed is no joke.
Wait, is he dead? He's dead.
10-pip hustler. There it is.
How is Zhao Yu the one tipping? You've got to. Come on, boys. That is prime opportunity for a tip.
And they smoke up as well. They know there's no global.
Okay. This is not an easy kill. Yeah, I don't know if you kill him actually through Jewel. Do they have the damage? Unknown finally joining them.
They know that the Aegis is gone. That's the big thing.
Nico's behind. He's actually going to pop the smoke first. They get the vision again. God, Nico. He's just doing this tide taunt. Oh my god, there's too many taunts that could just trigger someone.
And Nico's got those zoomer fingers, you know? 19.
Is he only 19?
Pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong.
Abyssal now completed for Natsumi too, so still he's been king of this game. Top of the network, 5k ahead of Makoto.
He's 20. Alright, I wasn't far off.
Not far off.
That's still a zoomer compared to me. Remember, I am 35.
My guy is a zoomer.
I'm not 35, guys.
Dude, chat was doing you dirty. It's alright, it's
Look,
fun
when
to
someone
see.
asks you, I try and make chat as interactive as possible. You know, they say, how old are you? And I'm like, how old do you think I am? And that's, you said it, you're just opening yourself up.
You're legit downhill from there. Like, there is no way to come back.
For the record, I'm 29, chat. I'm still in my 20s and I'm clinging on for dear life.
Yeah, that midlife crisis yet? Or it comes in 30s?
Are you saying I'm gonna die at 60? Midlife crisis.
Early life. I'm sure there's multiple crises.
Like a quarter life crisis.
Quarter
I'm
life.
sure by the time that
Sorry,
we're
midlife.
old. Dude, while there's a little bit of a rest
yeah.
sort of boomy
No, I like that.
underneath
Boomer.
the
I mean,
chorus.
hang on. We always do that in Australia. Anything you gotta put the O at the end.
We do an E at the end as well, though.
Yeah. O. You know, servo.
Modelers.
Dude, this.
Get him!
No way. No way. No way.
Like, it's not like he can psychic headbutting him away either. It's not new.
Some revenge. Natsumi's like,
He
okay.
was busy microing and, you know, forgets that he's got his real hero to deal with. I forget what I was saying before.
Some lull time, then we started to go on top of it. You said what? Who was it? Boomo? And then I don't
No,
know.
it was before that.
Yeah, it was before that. I'm trying
Boomy
to.
had nothing to do with it.
I'm trying to see if that will refresh you, Genuine.
Regeneration.
Scout once again. We see this cross map infest. Another lead charge. I use near the area. They don't really want to give up the Legion kill. They'd definitely be more than happy with Mirana dying as long as they can get the other lane shoved out. Max will not have an answer. Oh, the fear might come into play. Oh, the axe shot duration not enough. He didn't want to prioritize his own BKB. It's a long cooldown, Xiaoyu. Xiaoyu's just praying for that not to be the case, but of course it is.
That is mouse through monitor sort of territory right there.
I'm not sure. High front siege. Max got an arcane as well. 105-second cooldown on the Exo. Double Ravage.
BKB now on the LC. Yeah. So even if he buys back, you know, you swing full, you can just get Ravage and turn around on him.
How do you take these fights? Dive had the expertise in regards to teamfight ultimates, where Neon haven't really been able to contend against it. Make an attempt through the moonlight, which haven't really seen Unknown come into his own here in this game. Like, the Gyro's been farming. They're going to lose Genuine meanwhile. Or maybe they're just baiting the fight further and further back. But a preemptive BKB forcing the Gyro Cop to be careful. The Global Silence as well will give Nico ample time to reset his positioning.
A buyback for nothing, basically. Again, like, no BKB means that Legion Commander did not feel comfortable going forward. He's going to have the ninja gear at least to be able to, you know, try and get a straggler pick off, but Polaris, they're composed. They're going around and just playing well together. I feel like ever since they took that first Roche, there have been very few poor movements that have come out from them. They just realize the strength of their draft. They play around their cooldowns very well. You know, a couple of times CML just got chased down by this inky illusion, but there's nothing too much you can do about that.
How many smokes today have we seen actually accomplish nothing?
A few. We'll see what they're able to do with this one again. Ravage was not used.
Okay. I know we were both in Tsunami stream when he was going through the Grimstroke Stroke of Fate cast range. He's got the telescope too. This is ridiculous. Look how far this... What? It's
well,
actually...
they'll need it. I mean, they're getting their high ground pushed pretty quickly. It's going to be after the Roche as well. No Aghanims, and Natsumi unfortunately went away from buying his own Aghanim Scepter, so it's just going to be a filthy refresher shard that I'm sure DP will be happy enough to pick up.
Are you struggling to click on Roche with the change? I know they've fixed at least we can click on heroes without box
you can't
dragging.
click on wards either, you have to box drag the ward.
Yeah, what the heck?
At least I'll take click on heroes,
Yeah,
you know,
that was
bare minimum.
frustrating. Alright, so what do we get? Max got shard, cheese. Dude, this is so easy now. The UI. Cheese on Tide, Ages on Lifestealer. The only issue is whenever the Ag shard. We don't see that, of course.
Orb, sorry, Shark still in the backpack of the DP.
I went for the illusion. It's been a bit of an issue for the supports, but I'll charge up the Exo and Natsumi Siege, and they're gonna look to try and jump and burst through the air. And this global silence is enough to be able to keep him alive. It's not. Even the infest from Natsumi, everything ready to try and protect the Death Prophet. Mac has a buyback instantly. Will bring on the team with the boots of travel. Now Mac, second Exism back up in the Arsenal. Neon, I mean, they committed everything just to bring him down, and now how do you hold the top set of barracks here?
Even just right? Like, it's getting...
Nico, what a damage! 1 to 3. He'll charge up to the secondary one. It's one of the drone comes to pick him. It's not enough. He doesn't have a buyback, nor do the rest of Neon. We've got to force him out now. Arrow. Let's get the connection. You don't kill Natsumi. This guy is unkillable.
Puts the CTM skin right in their face. I mean, this is, let's remember, these are both teams have players from the ex-Neon, right? So, obviously his skill on the ground, now a player from Boom. Natsumi had such a long
Jayu,
well,
it's gonna look to jump on top of the Death Cop in the backline. He brought back previously, but again, this time, it'll be the Aeon to protect Mac, and Jayu would just get chased back to the ends of the earth. A die back for him. And Januel gonna try and do it all himself. Makoto stepping into Pride, some assistance, but it's a 3 against 4. They still have the Ages in. They've had enough as Polaris will take game 1 here.
very nicely done. Again, ground. They are ones out of my predictions coming through, and again it just felt like it did come down to the draft. Having a look at it, we weren't crazy happy about Polaris.
Tower is Dire's bottom tower is under attack. This is the Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning for enemies. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is falling. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Quest for ultimate glory continues.
I have hunting for you.
Killing spree!
Regeneration! Rolling out.
Dominating! Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire are scanning for enemies. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning for enemies. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's turn to ban.
I don't think Zhao played a bad game either. You know, he was always hitting these long-range arrows. He was constantly landing them, actually. Creating a ton of space, breaking smokes, leaping away. The only big mistake that he made was around the Roche fight, but I don't think that was on him either. You know, that was just stemming from the fact that Zhao Yu was unfortunately not able to have the vision to get the duel onto the Pangolier.
Seconds.
I'm trying to see how the lane went for Unknown. I mean, he was... It went well. He was 10 minutes in, second in at work, so I was a bit worried about the Gyro Barano being maybe a bit weaker, but I guess Tide was... They did give a free lane over to Nico because he was hand in hand with the Gyro's net worth there. Nonetheless, I feel like Unknown is looking for a redemption game, so I'm excited to see how they want to prioritize him. They've got 18th and 24th pick for Neon, which will give them a beautiful way to set up here for the position 1. I say that.
I was about to ask you, like, do you... does feel like he is far more bust, basically. Very few heroes we see build up the Battle Fury these days. And he went like a Juggernaut and built Battle Fury, you know, one of these heroes that has the capability of going early on, and it didn't work for him either time, I don't believe. So they're doubling down on it. They're saying, look, this is what you're good at. This time around, at least we're going to have the Mars to maybe, you know, have a bit of an easier time of picking off, let's say, CML Silencer, for example, and then turning the team fight in our favor as a result.
Yeah, I don't know if you can play off the back now of having a flash farming hero as your one. Like, I need more sample size. I need to see more games to really get a better feeling and understanding of how the stacks have really hindered these heroes like the Gyro. But I think last game was a perfect example with the fact that somehow Lifestealer was still like 5k ahead of Gyro, and he was not really showing up to fights. He was doing a lot of his priority was farm and get those items to where he was at a stage where he could, you know, be the hero to turn the fight. So again, I need more sample size, but yeah, we'll see if Unknown, at least in this game, if he can turn it back around.
I mean, I keep singing Zhao's praises. Maybe he needs to put his foot down a little bit more and essentially say, look, this is the time where you need to come and join us. You know, you're done farming, right? We need to win a team fight, and we need to transition that into something else. Clearly, for Neon, most of the time, what they've been doing hasn't been working too much. Magnus for Polaris. So this is something that, you know, a lot of people might say, okay, Mac's gonna be looking to play this. He did pretty well when we cast him in the lower division, playing his Magnus for Omega Esports at the time. But it's also an Natsumi hero as well in that position 1 role. So they've got some of that layer of flexibility to go around with. Even the Tiny, right? You're not 100% sure if it's safe lane or mid these days.
I feel like you can even give it to Nico as the off lane or whatever you'd like to. That there's a lot of capability here for Polaris. I would not be surprised. Oh, this could be a Tiny 1, in fact. And then, yeah, it looks like it's at least going to be a call. We've seen Tino, and I believe we've seen Tino play twice. I don't think we've seen mid one pick. Actually, no, we have seen mid one because he went the Shadow Blade. So now potentially for Natsumi to get some action with it.
5 seconds.
I was really getting excited for a second until that Snapfire was picked up with the thoughts of the Tiny 1 Mag 5, or, you know, flip-flop for the skewer back under the tower. But unfortunately, not looking like it's going to be.
So
It is Radiant's
now we're seeing what the flexibility is going to be through the silencer. You might have to go.
I like that pick a lot, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, Tiny or Mag in the mid lane now doesn't have a great time. Even if you get tossed back, right, as the Tiny, you've got the Firefly, so you can look to get out of the dangerous tower range pretty quickly.
This makes this last pick so difficult for Polaris. What do you do now? There's a lot of flexibility, but none of their heroes can really lane versus the Batrider, and you don't have a counter to him goes on, which will give you... Neon have multiple ways to get an instant burst. Either Lasso, Finger of Death, or Mars just drops the arena and you get a quick pick off. So right now, Neon have that capability with their single, you know, target abilities, where Polaris are relying on the RP into Mortimer Kisses or, you know, the Global Silence to be laid down. So I'm eyes on how Polaris are going to deal with the Batrider. And what do you do? Like, if you
No. I was about to say you could run Silence and
I don't think you can averse Batrider. What the
10
Arcane Curse could be, it's like, I know we brought it up and we're like, hang on, could this actually be a decent way to deal with him? My concern is that they have last pick on Neon. Although, like, hang on, they've ran the Mars 5 before, so it's not guaranteed this is a Mars 3. So yeah, we don't know. Like, if you go for a position 5 counter to enable Tiny's lane, then Batrider goes mid. And if you go for a mid matchup versus the Bat Rider, then Bat's going to go lane versus the Tiny Silencer or whatever the Tiny combo is. So there's like this. I haven't been a huge fan of Bat Rider with how we've seen him perform in lanes, but this is looking like a pretty good game.
I think we're going to see a Storm Spirit come out here for Mac. I think that's going to be in the mid lane. You know, yes, you're vulnerable against the Lion. Yes, if you go a Yule Scepter on the Mars, you're also vulnerable. But at least you can lane a little bit, and just have a look at their last bans as well. Getting rid of the Night Stalker and the Doom, 2 heroes that completely take away any kind of effectiveness that a Spirit hero might have. And, you know, it's not like a Storm wants to go a BKB either. So
10 seconds remain.
I do believe this is going to be a Genuel Mars.
5 seconds remain.
Again, we're looking to see how the flexibility for Polaris can come into play.
Faceless Void.
Wow. So, it matches up okay versus Bat Rider.
you think this is a mid Faceless Void, or you think
No.
the Bat Rider is going to be off lane?
I think you picked the Void to lane versus Bat, but I do not think you put the Void mid.
Well, what's stopping them from putting the Bat mid now? That's the question.
Yeah. So,
And also, like, you got the Mortimer's Kisses, sure, but, like, where's the Chronosphere combo?
if Tiny's a core, then that's a good combo. We saw, I think when the Ag Scepter was first picked up, the Tree Volley was incredible damage as the game goes on, and that's Tiny with a Magnus too. So this, I feel like I'm more off the back of Void 1, Silencer 5. Way he needs creeps to do so. What are we looking for Neon though? I should talk about this. Oh, could they Veno? Oh, we got a Lion 4 though. I believe we're looking for a matchup as the Void.
We just Veno 5. Like, it is like you want the matchup against the Void, but it's good against the Magnus and the Tiny too.
Okay. So
it disrupts the Chrono combo, which they are kind of reliant on at the moment from Polaris. And it's a Zhao ET.
I mean, we've seen him pop off on plenty of time. I think.
Yes, sir.
So it's going to be a mid-Tiny, probably the best possible matchup that you could have hoped for, outside of a mid-Faceless Void, which we were not wanting to see. I don't hate it, but I'm a good mid player. So, I mean, if he's not getting multiple kills in this lane, there's something going on.
10 seconds remain.
Lakad mo to to!
Normally,
Lakad mo to to!
Normally.
Money of my life!
Prepare
That's what
for
they're going for with this smoke as well. They do not have a strong level 1 lineup, that's for sure. Alright, let me just... So Batrider into the Tiny. Batrider should win. Mars Lion should probably win that lane. You know, it's going to depend on CML's positioning. And then Gyrocopter ET should have an okay time, but again, we just have to remember that there's no, probably not going to go into a Rocket Barrage build, so the Magnus is going to be punished that heavily.
Neon's lanes are strong.
Yes. Yes. Like, I can make a prediction based off the lanes all I want, but are they going to execute properly? Is the question. Like, is Unknown going to get out of the jungle and do something with the rest of his team? Because from the games that we've been casting with them, that hasn't unfortunately been the case. Maybe we're like, you mentioned my background being a good luck charm for Polaris. Maybe we're just bad luck charms for Neon as well.
You'd hate for that to be the case.
I'll go Neon. Like, I feel like their draft is good enough.
I'm still trying to work out how we go here. I think for Neon that they have the capability to win a majority of lanes and scale this into a very early high tempo momentum because of the cooldown dependency that are currently on Polaris. The issue is that we've seen games go later and later with stack changes. The plays are really going to have to come through from Max Tiny. He's against a Batrider. It's not going to be easy at all. We have seen Tiny, though, somehow, some way, in bad matchup, be able to take it.
Makoto's just going to try and get as aggressive as possible here before he's even got that toss available. Yeah. Just stacking up those sticky napalm charges, and Mac doesn't really care too much about just maximizing, you know, the creep equilibrium. He just wants that level 2 as quickly as possible.
Oh, man, I don't want to pull the trigger. Pulling the trigger's not easy. I'm going to go Polaris. I think we'll see how the team fight can fare. Gyro matchup late game versus Void is definitely not the worst. You go Agam, Satanic, you can lifesteal through the Chronosphere, which could be life or death here. It might be a little bit more difficult because they don't have the defensive support to also protect him, and Radiant have a lot of damage being dished out inside the Chrono.
Do they? Like, I know you mentioned the tree volley before, but it's going to take a while before he reaches that.
Mortimer Kisses is a lot. They did buff it up to the burn damage.
Sure, but let's remember you've got an Elder Titan that's going to be able to stop that, potentially.
Yeah. Do you feel like Genuine is actually going to prioritize finding the Snapfire or stopping the Faceless Void in the Chrono? Because that's what I thought that the ET was mainly picked up for. Shall we win? Like, hang on.
What a beast. I mean, it's hard, right? Because even if you look to go, you can even still just wait for the global silence until the very last second, right? To disrupt any kind of there. So the first blood on. So, I mean, that's a deep dive.
Mag is well up top. They're gonna try and target Nico Cookie. Oh, okay. Nico outie. The Ring of Protection.
Pushing him into that little. What would you call that? That little thing to the left there. There's like a where the statue is.
A fallen warrior. Hello, brother.
Is it like a pond though? Or what's the?
Oh, it's up. Yeah, waterfall into a pond.
On my terrain, it's got like lily pads there, so I'm gonna call it.
Yeah, I see the lily pads. Yeah, I'm down with that.
Dire's courier has been killed.
That CML's positioning has been very good. Like we saw in game number 1, they literally had to dive the tier 1 tower to get that first blood, and then that time around they dive nearly to like well behind the tier 1 tower to make that happen. So obviously prioritizing in the first blood. The trade-off for that, of course, is that Natsumi was able to continue standing in lane and farming.
Are you surprised that Max got 16 last hits at the moment?
Short answer, yes. Makoto, he hasn't hit his key timings, right? Like, sure, you've got the sticky napalm, and you've got the magic wand now completed for Max, so he feels fairly confident. Also, being able to pick up the boots of speed, the wind lace, he's just prioritizing making sure he's dying in the laning stage right now. So for Makoto, like, this is the first time that he's actually tried to make any kind of kill attempt happen. He does it around the crit.
CML again's in trouble. The double stun combination. Hustler Xiaoyu. They're kind of the battle up against Natsumi right now. See, they're just really avoiding the Faceless Void at the moment.
I think, it's all about timing on Makoto, right? Like, you can't look to make those deep dive attempts when you've got a creep wave there to be able to, toss him back towards if he looks to make any kind of aggressive movement happen.
Nico is getting nothing out of top. 13 last hits, 12 denies though from Unknown. They haven't put a lot of emphasis on the creep equilibrium, with Januel being very up in the face. They have the small camp available. But at least Nico's getting experience, which is the important thing at the moment from the mag. He's gone a 2-0-1 build.
I was doing another great job, even just with the win lays picked up, and again, no sentry ward being popped down there, so it has meant that these stacks are able to build up now that you're level 3 on Zhao as well. It's a very dangerous spot to be able to just contest against this Elder Titan as he walks up onto the high ground. He's looking to contest a little bit into Boomy here. For a kill onto Max super early on as Makoto. He's a little low right now. He's going to protect the water room.
Cookie timing. At the level that he wanted to go for the lasso, but Boomy just cookied up. Just stunning at the nick of time bottom lane. Another kill occurring as looks like this is where all the aggression is at the moment in regards to kills. There's been a lot of prodding up top. Nothing at that side of the map just yet.
And totally happy as well for CML to get that kill. Normally you want the Jara Cup to be the one picking it up, but if it gets to Mars, just having that permanent intelligence stolen, which of course with the silencer getting the kill credit there, be able to obtain.
Doesn't even describe it.
Alright. Careful here on Unknown.
Resistance from Jia now joining the lane. See how much damage he's got as well with the Astral. Enough to really force a hand out of Nico. High Rider, in fact, fallen very low. Makoto, it's not going to tick out to the curse, but again, I mean, the fact that Mac has got more last hits at the moment than what the Bat Rider does is very much surprising me. Man, Danok, what's going on, man? Is this Bat Rider just not doing it in lanes? I feel like this is.
I know you hate Bat Rider. I know he's number 2 compared to the Legion Commander on your top 8 list.
It's just the fact that these heroes are not doing as well as what I expected.
The other big thing is that Mac can look to make these sorts of rotations up towards the top side. Good presence of mind coming through there from Unknown as well as Zhao. Cuts down again the vision that was placed inside the river towards scouting out any kind of movements from the Tiny. So at least that's prevented him from farming for the next little bit. Kodo taking up a camp here. He's going to get one neutral item. Probably not the best one he was hoping for. The Ocean Heart, much better, of course, for a Bat Rider that constantly wants playing around the river.
He's gonna look to really play his own game now to farm up the boots of travel. Hustler is some stacks around the triangle. Let's see if they give this to the Bat Rider. I wouldn't hate, just considering he's the one that will make a lot of space for Unknown. See at least how they're gonna prioritize that.
Had the Chronosphere point leveled up. I'm not sure, like, later on, sure, I can appreciate the fact that they've got a lot of damage potential. But early, it's not like you've got a Sunstrike. It's not like you've got, even now, the Mortimer's Kisses available. So Natsumi to go the point into the Chronosphere, I wonder how much of that is just like muscle memory and just the thing that you do as opposed to the language of this game.
He's in trouble here. 3 heroes surrounding the Tiny. The first lasso use of the game will secure them a kill on the Rockman and also his first death as well. So just giving Makoto a nice influx of gold towards the boots of travel.
I mean, even after that kill, he's still sitting behind Mac in terms of net worth. So the fact that it cost 2 people rotating towards the mid lane as well is a bit of an impact, but it's not going to cost either the Gyrocopter or the Mars. So how you and Unknown can just continue being up there, taking some of the stacks that have been built up. But now just claiming that hard camp that Zhao previously had made, make sure that he got full value out of the Astral Spirit.
It's going to be a very different game as well, considering either team doesn't have the greatest way to take towers early. It's not like where we saw the death prophet in game 1 for Polaris. You know, Faceless Void is someone who's just going to look to get as much farm as possible. You know, unknown, if he plays very similar to game 1 as well, he's just all about his own farm and trying to ramp up his item progression. So we could have a game where there's not many towers claimed.
I would say particularly for Neon, right? Like in game 1, at least you had the Death Prophet that could be used just with the Exorcism. Like, what's a Batrider going to do to towers? What's a Mars going to do to towers? Massively. Lion, Elder Titan. So the Gyrocopter needs to be there. That's why I'm even more like on the emphasis of needing Unknown to have some kind of impact super early on into this game. And you can see this time around, he's not going the Chrysalis. He's going into that Aghanim Scepter so that he has some kind of response to the Faithless Void. If he does look to, you know, show up in response and drop the Chronosphere, he can be continuing to do some kind of damage.
Is under attack.
And we could see Polaris with the team fights picked up. They could be the ones then to defend the objectives. Like if they want to just hold them off to a bit more reactionary. Because they also very content with getting a lot of farm. Like this is, at the end of the day, it is a Magnus lineup. And Mac is, he doesn't have the blink yet. So you're okay with not getting too much action out of the map.
You go on the 3 points into the little shredder as well on the Snapfire. I mean, that's definitely a way to dish out some damage inside the Chronosphere.
It's going to look to TP up top. Natsumi will just lay down the Chronosphere to protect the Tiny, or will it even do so? Hustler on the outskirts drops the Finger of Death, which is a big kill on Tiny once again, and on Natsumi. The next target here, they got a little bit of distance away. It's maxed out Time Walk, so the cooldown allowing him to retreat back to safety. This is...
Has to be a little careful here. Doesn't even have RP skill.
Sweet connection. They're going to push him actually further into the hands of Neon. And Boomy's even going to lay down the artillery from afar. A smoke just to give them that much more of a difficult time. Natsumi's going to be cautious. Makoto will find the lasso. Great use of the flame break bounce back. Boomy's still looking to stick around because he's got Mac to show off. The Tiny clean up cruise. He secures the double kill, and all in all, we did see no involvement with CML. He is still looking to find the level 6.
Big impact there, not having your silencer. Again, they've changed it up this game, wanting to put more points into the Arcane Curse, considering he's not up against any kind of defensive dispels. But the thing is, if you're going into that sort of build, you need to be there at these sort of engagements happening. That's the sort of gameplay, though. Do you think in game 1 Unknown would have turned up for that team fight? I certainly don't. So it's clearly paying off for them, him being this a little bit more active in the team fights as well. I think that little shredder actually caught them a little off guard as well on Neon. Hustler going in super deep, ended up dying almost solo to Boomy there, just because of the damage that they were able to dish out with the use of the Medallion of Courage. The 4 points now into the little shredder, so that's a lot of damage that you're able to pump up pretty regularly every 12 seconds.
Do you like that Boomy's gone for this instead of like ways to shove out lanes with the Scatter Blast and more emphasis on the cookie?
I don't hate it. I mean, it's good for being able to take towers as well, right? Just every 12 seconds you're going to have that line of summon. They'll catch out Mac here.
Nice
Cookies him out, though.
Was the first use of the Global Silence. CML a bit cautious. They'll push him back to Hustler's direction, so not the target that we're really hoping for, but you know, with the Global Silence on cooldown, maybe they can again look to try and take an objective. They just got bottom previously, and with Polaris using their ultimates to no avail, this is going to end up costing them one way or other.
Natsumi farming in their own jungle. He's nearly got the Chronosphere available, but Firefly was just expiring. But again, yeah, like you mentioned, they don't have a way to take towers outside of this Gyrocopter. He needs to be there, but right now, like, look at the aggressive building. I like it a lot, actually. Wanting the Aghanim Scepter, again, just something to be useful inside the Chronosphere. So Orbit Mask can be picked up shortly, RP as well. Also, just having that basic Dispel to be able to get out of the Global Silence still. The Satanic is going to be great.
This item's just crazy on cause. The fact that it has a basic Dispel, It's legitimately just one of the best late game items for any position one, and we're seeing it's not even late game. He's going second item Satanic, just a recognition of you got the side gunner and the Satanic to combine up. He's even got the possess mask as well. Anything you can use to your advantage to survive through the big bursts and team fight that Polaris have at the moment. And we're seeing this is a mag lineup that are currently playing in a deficit.
Like they might be going for a smoke now though, having picked up the Blink Dagger on Nico. Be surprised if they didn't opt for that. With the Chronosphere available as well, you've got the little Shredder maxed out, Global Silence at the ready, even an Arcane Rune bottled up here by Max. So I think they're just going to try and push this wave out as quickly as possible. Up smoke and make the play happen.
Kodo at the moment, with how the line's drawn, is going to be the target if they do head to top. Bottom will be the area.
Get away.
Boomy locked in the arena. Hostile will zap down as well. It's 2 charges with a finger of death. Jiayu still sticking by. Max going to try and reveal the combo. Doesn't get a whole lot of damage. Even will lay it through the Global Silence. Polaris, be cautious how long you steer. Nika's actually going to commit on forward. But meanwhile, they've locked on Tiny once again. The Kodo finding a valuable target on the side of Polaris. I don't know if they'll catch up to Nico though. Blink up in a couple seconds and yeah, he's out.
Again though, what's the difference there? Gyro showed up and it was enabled them to get that turnaround kill. Sure, you used a lot to be able to get the kill, still end up paying with your Mars, but he used his arena. It didn't really matter in the grand stage of things. And his Magnus going down as well. Again, Unknown having a much bigger impact in these team fights. Not even needing to go Bob and Mask first. This is a big deal. Able to spend all of that unreliable gold on the Reaver first. That's the hardest part of building up into these greedy items super early on into the game, is that if you die, you end up losing a crap ton because all of your unreliable gold was spent for that. Now, you just got rid of it all.
Just the fact that the Gyrocopter is 3,000 ahead of the Void. Is this... Maybe Nico needs to play a little bit more around Natsumi? He's going to jump in forward now, but I'm worried.
There's a little bit of that, but again, like we saw when they were previously winning team fights, they were also taking objectives, and it feels like it's a lot harder for them to win team fights because early on there is almost no damage potential inside of a Chronosphere.
Try to get the arena tied at the moment. Protecting himself. He's going to lay down. The kids is on top of the back climb with the Chronosphere running forward. They've got the perfect setup to bring down 2 heroes to start, and Max going to rejoin the fight as well. The Avalanche toss combination will rip apart Unknown's health pool. And now without the numbers, Neon, can they still stick around? Makoto's going to try and give them some form of retribution here, but they'll just avoid the back right and look to transition to the backline. And they'll cut down the ET2.
It was a big ultimate team fight. I mean, that's the key thing that you're waiting for, right? It cost 3 ultimates on Polaris to be able to take a winning part of that team fight. Just coming in clutch, being able to get the important heroes outside of that arena so that you did have the damage to be able to pump into that Chronosphere. If Fumi gets Mac out instead, probably aren't able to pick off those key heroes before they're able to get off their counter initiation.
Makoto is still showing that the Batrider have a very strong performance. It's 5-0-3. Working on the BKB is his next item. But there is a lot of abilities on cooldown for Polaris. It's going to be a difficult defense.
That's my key question. Like, A, are they going to defend this? And if they do, are they going to be strong enough? And honestly, C, if Neon look to push, how slowly are they going to take this tier 1 tower? You can just park 1 hero there, and it's like, we'll see him. Well, normally I hate to see silencers doing any kind of defense because they, defend so slowly. They have no really long-range skills that instantly wipe out creep waves. But I mean, who cares? Like, they do no damage to towers right now on Neon.
Maybe with the double damage on Unknown, they're actually going to bottle it up.
They got to go now, though. Like, RP's up in 15 seconds, Mortimer's Kiss is in 3, Chronosphere in 35, so you're going to make this decision. It's got to be a snap decision. It can't be one where you're dilly-dallying. waiting for people to just do their own thing.
Oh, that's...
Dire's top tower.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I didn't know about going to the choke point like that. We saw what happened previously with the Chrono on 4, and if you're gonna all spin up around the pit, that could spell disaster.
Well, luckily, Fey Grenade does not work with Sticky Napalm anymore, so breathing a sigh of relief there for Polaris.
Yeah,
But yeah, they've... well, Smoke kind of revealed that sort of movement. They've already taken the tower, so it doesn't even matter all that much. Go take that pre-wave first, as he does.
Still
The
looking
rest
to
of the team,
connect.
all ultimates to the ready. Yeah,
Great position. He's gonna look to jump and pounce instantly. The burst to the line. They've got a great ward on the back line as well. Even on the high ground, so Unknown still farming. Max Blink's on cooldown. Great ward placement from Januel. They're going to be cautious, Unknown. Jump forward. Can they get the cookie placement? And the toss back. Global silence. There we go.
great global.
Unknown completely out of position. Natsumi, no messing around. He'll just drop the Chronosphere to secure the kill on top of the Gyrocopter. It'll be a whipped RP. Nico not securing anything, but still, they're just separating the fight. And Xiao Yu, the third to fall. Makoto locked into play from the bash. Natsumi, a jump in forward. Somehow Nico will keep his life. All in all, though, they're still looking to punish this Hustler. A jump finger to zap him down. They get two nonetheless. Polaris, be cautious how long you stick around. CML, unfortunately, doesn't really have that fast-paced legs. It's a lot for a TP out. Is he going to make it, Hustler? Okay. Got the answer. So all in all, I mean, they do get a couple of kills out of it, but we're still seeing this team fight reign supreme.
Still does end up equipping the Fey Grenade on Makoto. The movement speed is always great as a Batrider, but now again, they've got their other window, right? This time around, they even use the Global Silence for that. So they have 4 ultimates on cooldown right now for Polaris. You gotta take some sort of objective if you're Neo. Just wait for the arena to be available. No, I admire that he's keen. He's looking to drop the cooldown. I don't know if that's the best choice. I mean, yes, it does get you that that morbid mask that you need to finish up the satanic, but I mean, now you've kind of wasted your timing a little bit here because you don't have that additional burst damage that you probably need to be able to come out of this smoke attempt in a good spot.
I believe they smoked onto the ward mid.
For enemies.
They're playing
They see the gyro's still there, though.
very far up. Jump booming's got reinforcements to the back line, but this is just going to force them out of position. As they can also target CML Natsumi, even looking to show up a bit, get you up the arena. But Radiant, they still got the tower to their advantage, and the buyback coming to Frey. You have to keep in mind, though, the ultimates have been the huge X factor for Polaris to turn these fights. Haven't seen any just yet, of course. They are coming back off cooldown shortly.
Again, just so slow. They take this tower so slow. You're going to have the RP up now.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Chronosphere in 10. Chronosphere time perfectly synced up with the global silence as well. So I think Nats would probably look to get this camp, maybe join the rest of his team. Although he did lose Yasha on the courier, so feeling a little bit anxious about taking that team fight without a huge portion of his
Invisibility!
The fact that the gyro
They finally got the tower, though. That's the important thing.
is smoked up. Again, this ward on the back line, it's giving them so much information. I want to jump Xiao Yu. The easiest target to burst through. Matt will make the attempt. Good hustler straight behind him. Well, it looks like they go through relatively well. Got minus armor.
So it's really important that he finishes his BKB, right? Like, and you think about this, yeah, the minus armor is available, of course, with the solar crest, with the little shredder, and with all the physical damage that they've got right now on Polaris. Get through this Roshan pretty damn quickly, although.
Okay, they do.
Popping the sticky napalm towards the end of his invis rune there, so at least he knows that
Back by
it's
John.
not sitting too low.
He's been separated from the team now. Nico to join. They don't get the skewer back. Global Silence trying to do whatever it can to protect the Tiny. It's pretty difficult to go through, but the rest of Polaris do not want to commit forward. Goes in trouble. Makoto can still jump, and some freebies given away. He's going to buy back instantly. They do not want to give over this Roshan. They know how important this could be to offer a way for Neon to take this second game.
Still don't think that Neon have the damage. Like, it's going to take Unknown the longest time. At least you can see the Mortimer's Kisses was used. Careful about going up into the rest of his teammates, though. If you had the Faceless Void or the Mag Smoke nearby, but yeah, now you can feel very confident in taking this fight. No Global Silence, no Mortimer's Kisses, so even if you land, you know, the perfect chronosphere of RP, I still feel like they might be lacking a little bit of damage.
It looks like
Need to stay a little bit more spread though on Neon. They're clumping together a little bit too much. My palms getting a bit sweaty.
Oh, there you go. Age is picked up for Unknown. 7,000 net worth lead. Starting to grow here at a decent amount. As Gyro was kind of evening out with the farm on the Void, but now he's back up on top.
Did you see the other difference as well with the gyrocopter? I see rocket barrage, you know, something that's good in team fights, and it does feel like, you know, you're against a Faceless Void, you're against some of these beefy heroes, you need that extra layer of damage, especially now on the Tiny, who's, you know, level 2, he's got the grow talent, so the magic damage, at least pre-VKBs, is going to be very important.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Unknown's even gone S and Y, so just further increasing his survivability, not only with the status resistance, but also the factor of this self-lifesteal amplification, which we keep highlighting, but this could be a huge reason why he stays alive in the Chronos. I'd like to see him go damage item next, just of course that's going to further increase the lifesteal that it gets back, but he feels like Scotty just to make sure he doesn't get bursted.
I do agree with you. I feel like you need some sort of damage potential. What are they going on Polaris' side? Counter. They're going a Skadi here on Natsumi. It makes sense. You know, you're against the Gyrocopter, you're against hell, even the Bat Rider. It's going to be very effective. But, I mean, I still am kind of sticking on that point of they lack the damage to be able to take these towers, right? So, crit isn't going to be that great against it. You know, you might often see a Chrysalis or a Daedalus picked up on a Gyrocopter, but, you know, I feel like they just need raw damage, and at least Skadi provides some of that with the stats that you get.
We're looking to connect back to top. Just the tail end of Neon positioning themselves. They also see Makoto in the river, so they are very aware that Neon is split. What they can do out of this though, Polaris. Lacking the next items to be picked up.
What else we got? Okay, so Lion's going into the Lotus Orb. I like that from Hustler. Just another counter to the Global Silence, of course. Toss back. Potential.
Just gives another way for Gyro to siege once he gets to that stage. They found Mac? King in his area. Oh, Alright, you gotta get the lane shoved out instantly. You see they're gonna do that mid-top. Polaris recognizing what they've got to do now with the Tiny down, but it's gonna cost you the first tier 2 tower of the game.
Which my matriarch will prize.
They've even got the siege creep there, so Unknown looking to tank up a lot of the damage from this tower as well. He realizes how survivable he is. Surprise me if they do pop the glyph that you're just like, guys, get in here on the front lines. Yeah, you put your shield up, protect the siege.
Oh,
they finally got the damage to be able to burst through some of these. CML?
I think a ward.
I don't know about that one. I mean, he was trying to, get a little bit of a deep ward up, but I feel like you got to be under the cover of smoke to try and make that kind of thing happen.
It's like Radiant a little bit too slow to pounce on Unknown as well. He was a bit split from the team. Still have the Void that is farming well. Natsumi, Skadi's his next item. The big issue with a team fight lineup that we have on Polaris at the moment is that an extra life just completely nullifies big ultimates and how they work together. You have to commit everything to kill that hero the once. So we see how Neon can control the map.
And they've just been dodging, so like they've been doing it correctly. You know, they know that they can't fight in these lives. I mean, Gyrocopter honestly feels like he has 3 with the Satanic that he's been able to have picked up, but even that Enchanted Quiver is going to do a nice little bit of bonus damage in a lot of these team fights here.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
Setting up on Natsumi at the moment, Makoto, with the invis.
25 seconds away. I'll try and get one more objective out of this. I don't know if they can without the fire flow, though. Makoto just popping it to farm that little bit extra. Especially not with that cooldown being used. So yeah, they back off together as a team. Makoto, well, stay that. Turn around here.
Jayu about to pop. Ashley's gonna blink on forward. Claps on Boomy, but now with the Global Suns dropped as well, they're not really getting anything out of it. They'll actually drag back onto the what's inside. Makoto's down. A huge streak to claim and a massive component of the lineup of Neon. But how can they get more? As Mac, he's compromised his own position up on the higher ground when Neon feel powerful enough to deal with the Tiny.
And they have to flop the Chronosphere just to kill the Bat Rider. You know, even seconds immediately. He's got that. I feel like Neon even needs to back up. You know, they've got the unknown that you need to be able to get through. Continue to push forward, and you use a lot of ultimates again. The only one that really was kisses, and that's because Ruby was the focus.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
I do like it. I'm going to be gushing about Zhao again, but just like realize how important it is for them to protect that observer ward, right? Because Gyrocopter is all about the vision that you have. Just saying, look guys, you need to continuously fight around this, because if you don't, our damage just plummets. It drops off the cliff so quickly.
Tower is under attack.
Is there an avenue for Polaris back in? Is it really just off the back of a huge team fight? Is that always what you have with a lineup like this? Or we're seeing it might be too difficult as well? Neon. Oh no, they're coming. Caught out Nico. They're even going to add CML to the tally. All they were wanting was a little bit of real estate, just the outpost control, but it'll cost difficulties.
I think maybe Natsumi just getting big enough that he's able to commit. Like, it'll probably cost him his BKB, because being able to wrap around onto the likes of
they're going to lose more.
Zhao and Hustler.
Max caught up top here, just got the BKB, but they will not give him an opportunity to pop this into the TPR. Is the chain control is perfect.
There we go. Onto the high ground. Popping the diaglyph there. Needed, but they're going to continue pushing forward with the siege creep. It's going to be a free lane of action. Nothing that you can do about it. Even getting another kill, but Kodo punishing Boomy for trying to keep that top wave pushed out.
Full set claim. Second to come down bottom.
I mean, gonna have the Skadi at least on the Faceless Void, but I feel like, yeah, you have to give up both of these lanes. You can't fight without your entire team, and I feel like you need to smoke behind, pop the BKB, kill the support, and then look to converge on the rest of the team. And that needs to be like Natsumi's job on his own.
Dire carve a path to Radiant Ancient.
It's going to come down to as well the vision. Radiant just haven't been finding the jump as the game goes on. Are they thinking about a gem? There's one picked up, so still, yeah. A new gem at your side, which I think in a game like this where you're relying on just getting a huge wombo combo, you need the vision advantage to set up for the initiation. Again, I mean, Natsumi's going to run on deep forward, and Seeker's taking it off. Global Science instant laid down, but it's another super defensive ultimate. See how they want to.
It's going to go back in again. It's only 2 seconds away from the blink dagger of Xiaoyu.
Get the catch. Xiaoyu's going to look to jump in instantly with the RP drop and get to the corner. The damage is just lacking at the moment. Natsumi will drop the chrono, but finally the Arsenal is coming from the northern side. It will not matter. All the ultimates wasted. They'll still clean up the chrono, but now with the BKBs expiring, they can jump in, clean off the void, max the next target. The BKB will give him some opportunity to make it up on the high ground, but I know it's a retribution after the position one on Neon, as the Gyrocopter performance this game is stellar.
It just shows the difference that playing with your team makes. You know, like game one, he was trying to put it all onto himself to just continuously farm, and hopefully be the big one to, 1v5 against the rest of the team. So maybe a bit of a pep talk coming through and saying, look, we're good too, guys. We're all part of this team together, and Unknown just thinking to join the rest of his team was enough to put the pressure on to really push it across the line. Fine. They're hitting onto tier 4 towers. Even if they did try and smoke, I don't think you can come back into this one. No RP, no global.
Oh, inside the base.
Maybe that.
Stage Unknown. Is he actually gonna go down? They hold.
Okay.
Fuck the score range. She's not even 20 yet. Oh my god. Look at Hustler. Just out. My god. They live to survive another day. Do they?
Well, yes, but probably it shouldn't have happened as well. There's also that little chestnut there. I mean, what does he have? He has the psychic headband as well, so just wanting that extra cast range for the skewer.
There's not a possibility, right? What's the probability thing? That looks flatline from me. So that looks like 100%.
It still says 100%. Oh, 99. There we go.
All right.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's a chance. Roche is
Seagull's
off.
been pretty quick on his globals as well. Like previously when Natsume got caught out, it was instant. I have to come back to the point of, do you think that it's like a safety word that they use? Like, watermelon or orange or banana when they're trying to say, please, pop global sales to try and save me?
Global, not enough. You just need one word.
It's 2 syllables, like ball or something, I don't know.
So we asking a question?
What is their word?
Or maybe that's top secret strats that they cannot give away.
Well, if they manage to eke out a win, maybe we can ask that.
I'm sure we can ask Neon too. Maybe they've got their own little boys who've had the experience. Maybe through past teams or this team, they've got that own key phrase. Neon.
Maybe they'll also say, "What the hell are you talking about?"
That's a very, very strong possibility. All right, Roche being claimed, Radiant. This is the fight you want to take. Around the choke point with all your big AoE ultimates. Hey, I'm giving up an extra life now.
Pushing out to be down on the low ground. All right.
That is. So we got the Egg Shard. Gyro currently holding that. Who would we like to see him give this to?
Probably Batrider. Oh, he's even going the Wind Waker as well on Bat. That's super cool.
He's got the gem, and they will get no pass off. Oh no! I was speaking about the gem earlier. That's no good. He doesn't have a buyback. Oh. So who'd they give it to?
Charge to Batrider. 2 charges in the Flame Break. Apply a sticky napalm charge. Pretty damn good.
Tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
I don't think we're going to get to see this Wind Waker. I'm a little disappointed.
Who was going for it again? Sorry.
Batrider, just to be able to counter out any kind of chronospheres or RP shenanigans going on.
Let's see how they can screw him back. Is Nico 20 yet? He's not. It's the play, toss back. There's no way. They even do it. He'll try that with the RP, but
they
no,
tried.
the spear arena pushes him further. Oh, it was a crafty attempt, but it's not enough. They'll try and toss Natsumi out of the arena. He can turn, dropping the chrono onto the free. He's got to be cautious. The Earth Splitter soon to fly. Nico, another attempt, even faster with the Yield Scepter. This time, it will not be the case. Maybe they can rely on the toss. Still, the attempt is there. Unknown, however, they haven't gone through the first life. They've got a buyback on Nico. Will force up. Oh, no, they just blinked into it. They got back recently, and that's going to cost him without the mag to play around with the skewer. They're in trouble for how they can hold. They're still 2 down. Maybe they've actually compromised their positioning. Neon have to be cautious. Mac will attempt to jump to the western side. He's on top of January. But more and wild, and that's Jimmy with full. He's got a buyback, still can rejoin the fray. But Unknown reigning supreme. He's got the age of satanic life still stacking up. They can't go through the gyro, even with all their buybacks coming into play. There's even Zhao Yu's rejoining. Januel as well. A 3-on-5, a toss again. this is all they can hope for. A prayer is what they need, but going to game 3, ladies and gentlemen. Neon backs against the wall. They'll tie the series.
Again, like it felt like it went down to the path for that one for me. I was not a fan. Just because, like, again, the Faceless Void was your last pick, but it didn't really combo together with anything. What did the Tiny end up with in terms of items? Because it didn't